All right, guys. Will here. So, I'm going to go over how to get out of a plateau. So, what a plateau is if you guys have seen some great results, but then now you guys have kind of stabilized and you possibly either are seeing much less results or no more results at all. You guys just stabilized and we're not seeing much more change anymore at this point. I'm going to go over a 3-part series on how to get past that plateau. Now, the 3 reasons why you've hit a plateau. It's 1, confusion, lack of knowledge, understanding. 2, it's fear. What are you afraid of? And 3 is laziness or the bare minimum mentality. Okay? So, first, we're going to go over the confusion. Now, that's not a huge issue if you guys are working with a trainer, or at least it shouldn't be. But yet, too many people are making it the excuse. I'm not seeing results. I can't follow this plan because I don't understand. But that's what we're here for. That's why you come to someone like me, a professional. Is because we understand it. So we're trying to tell you what to do. And just because you don't understand it, you choose not to do it at all, rather than to try. Let me put this into perspective. Every one of you guys have been through the school system. Every one of you guys. I know that there are some people in the world that haven't, but I know for a fact all of you guys have been through the school system. And you have all taken at least one math class. One. Whether math is your subject or not, I don't really care. It doesn't matter what level you got to. You've all taken at least one math class. So, when you were in 2nd grade, you were learning addition. Now you walked into class and the teacher says, okay, today we're going to learn how to add 2 plus 2. And if the teacher had asked you at that moment to add 2 plus 2, you probably had no idea what that meant. You would kind of look around the room, see your friends, and be like, I don't, what the heck is she talking about? We've never done this before. How am I supposed to know how to do this? Okay. So what does the teacher do next? She starts giving you the methods and teaching you the methods to do this, to be able to add 2 plus 2. She says, okay, first method. You can take out a piece of paper and draw little figures until you have 2 figures here, 2 figures here, and then you can visually see it and count them and see how much it adds up to and get your total. You have another method, which is you can use your hands. You can have 2 fingers here and 2 fingers here, and again you will count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or the last method is you just memorize it. I told you that 2 plus 2 equals 4. So just remember that 2 plus 2 equals 4. So next time someone asks you, what's 2 plus 2? You just can recall on your memory and say, oh, that equals 4. Now, when you're 6 or 7 years old, she tells you these 3 methods. Some of you guys didn't get it, right? I hate to say it. It's okay. It's not embarrassing at all. It happens to everybody. If you were not understanding the processes, the 3 methods or however many ways they taught you, what's next? The teacher, even if you did understand it, they still did the same thing for what's next. They sent you home and did what? They give you homework to practice it, right? So then you go home and you sit at your little desk or your table, dining room table, and now you're looking at an entire book or sheet of problems that ask you how to add 2 plus 2, 3 plus 2, 1 plus 3. And you have to practice your methods that you learned in class that day and do them over and over and over again until you figured it out and it made sense to you. Right? And now, looking back on that, every single one of you guys think, all right, adding 2 plus 2, don't be stupid. That's so easy. You're right. It is easy. Why? Because you were taught methods, you practiced those methods, and you were able to see the result. I think some of you guys are getting where I'm going with this. So imagine me being the teacher and telling you that the result you want to see on your body is as simple as adding 2 plus 2. And you're confused because you don't know how to add yet. That's fine. It's your first time. But I give you homework to do to practice the methods. I said you can either do it this way, or this way. Go home and work on it so that you can get better and figure it out. But you're not doing the homework. You're not practicing. And because you don't practice, you don't learn. And if you don't learn, you don't see the result. And if you don't see the result, you continue to not understand. So you have to go do the homework. You have to practice it. You have to do it day in and day out until you start to figure it out, until it starts making sense, and until it becomes easy. Good. Now you've practiced it. Now it's become easy. Now you know how to see that result. But once you've seen that result long enough, that's when we plateau. What's next? Now I got to teach you multiplication. In order to continue results and seeing those results faster or better or bigger, we need to move you up. You need to go to the next grade. It's time to go into 3rd or 4th. And you have to learn that multiplication now. And I get it, it's confusing and it's much more difficult. It's much more challenging. The methods are harder. But you have to give an effort. If you go home and don't do the homework in school, what happens? You get an F. Your grade is an F. If you don't go home, do the homework, and you don't learn the process, you get an F. If you go home and you just try to do it, what happens? You get a C. You at least get a C. You learned a little bit, sort of, but not really. It's kind of working, it's kind of not. You get a C still. But you keep doing it over and over again. You keep practicing, you keep working on it. Sometimes it takes you a while. There's some people that you had to repeat the class. You had to repeat the course, right? So instead of doing it and learning multiplication in a month, maybe it takes you 2 months or 3 months or 4 months or 6 months. Maybe. But if you keep working at it, guess what? Sooner or later, multiplication becomes easy now. And that's how you see the new results. And we can step you up into fractions. We can step you up into quadratic formula. All right? We can teach you guys quantum physics. But you have to be willing to do the homework and try. Or some of you guys try to cheat off your neighbor next to you, right? You don't learn it. You just cheat off your neighbor. You get one diet plan, stick to it, and it makes you pass the test. You get the A for that class. Then what happens? That next grade is 10 times harder, right? Now you're trying to learn, what, graphs and parabolas? And you have no idea what you're doing. Why? Because you cheated. You cheated off your neighbor, which means you didn't learn the process. If you learn the process, you can work your way to the next level. If you cheat, the only way you'll get by is continue to cheat, and at some point that stops. It's not going to work anymore. So learn the process, practice it, get better. and then it'll become easy. And then we can teach you the next step. Don't be confused. Just try it consistently until it becomes easy. All right, guys. See you next time. We'll get into the next part of fear.